Doug MacGregor is a retired U.S. Army colonel. He joins us to assess the effects of all of this on the military and on our military readiness. Doug, thanks so much for coming on. So where are we with troop strength? I think most people, including me, don't have a precise sense of it.
No, and the numbers are hard to extract. The Pentagon doesn't make it easy. And frankly, we've learned to be very skeptical about the numbers that are provided by the Department of Defense. They have been less than truthful about the numbers of soldiers, sailors, airmen, or Marines that are deployed in places like Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq. Yeah. So we have to approach it cautiously, but we have some large numbers that we can point to. The first thing to understand is the reason that I became so concerned about eliminating sailors, Marines, and eventually soldiers, airmen, who are otherwise healthy, capable, well-trained, proficient, competent in their profession, is simply because we don't have that many people in the United States from which to recruit right now. Only about 30% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 24 are actually qualified to serve in the military. That's an appallingly small number. They're not qualified for reasons of physical ability, medical, health reasons, drug use, criminality, whatever. So we don't have a big cohort. Every year the Army needs, for the ground force, about 69,000, 70,000 people. Last year they got 62,000, which they said was their goal. But we also don't know about the quality of those recruits because we've continually reduced standards for them. So what we've got, we really need to hold on to. The second thing is, beyond recruiting, is training. When you begin to look at the combat units, and you look at 40,000 non-deployable soldiers serving in the regular Army of the United States, the active component right now, roughly 8 to 10% of every battalion or brigade has non-deployable soldiers. That's anywhere from 50 to 150 to 200. You have to understand, when you go into combat, if anything, you want to go in with more soldiers than you normally have, because you have to reckon with casualties, reckon with losses due to illness or accidents, as well as wounds in battle. We're actually looking at combat units who would have to go in with less than a full complement. 40,000 is inexcusable. Why are they still on the books? We've known about them for a long time. Well, the Army knows how difficult it is to keep people. Retention is not very high. A lot of people leave because they're disgusted with service in the Army or the Marines for other kinds of reasons, or the Navy and the Air Force. I focus on the ground force because when you start to look at the numbers available that you could put on the ground in Europe right now to quote-unquote deter the Russians, it's not a very large number. We'd be lucky to get 70, 80, 90, 100,000 troops on the ground. And they have to be equipped and organized in the right way. In other words, you can't send large numbers of light infantrymen to fight in an area like Poland or Ukraine against the Russians. If you did, they'd be killed quickly. So we don't have very much. We have perhaps the ability right now to put between 5 and 10 so-called armored brigade combat teams on the ground. And getting them there is not easy. We haven't run any big exercises for years, moving 50, 80, 100,000 troops. The transportation infrastructure is not being thoroughly examined. We haven't tested our ability to do much. So when the president starts to say, we will do X, we're in trouble.
Let's fire the SEALs. I noticed none of the neocons who claim to love the military have said one word about this. Liz Cheney isn't defending them. She loves the military. Yeah. Colonel Doug MacGregor, it's great to see you. Thank you. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Right, thank you.